Welcome to Mind, Body, Yay. Thank you for joining me. This is the place to come to put the yay back into your mind and body. I am Kate Zukas. I am a mindfulness and self-care coach and yoga and meditation teacher. I'm also the founder of katezukasco.com. I'm a busy mom and a mental health advocate. The purpose of Mind, Body, Yay is to provide awareness, education, and practices to help nourish your mind, body, and soul. So let's get those positive vibes flowing with today's podcast. So I am so excited today to have our very special guest with us. And I have been working with Kathrine and being a client of hers for about the last 10 years. So Kathrine has personally helped me on my own kind of healing and energy healing journey and transformation over those 10 years. So today, Kathrine is going to take us through a short superconscious recode, and we're also going to just dive into our superconscious, which is a topic that I know many of you are curious about. So I will give Kathrine a proper introduction. So Kathrine is from Embodied Alchemy, and she facilitates a quantum personal development and change process that gives you the tools and solutions to create freedom where you crave it the most. This is the Superconscious Recode. With over 20 years of experience as a chiropractor and healer, and a lifetime of study in alternative healing practices, she has 2 university degrees in medical science and chiropractic medicine, and a diploma in parapsychology and crystal healing. She has attended numerous courses and classes in chiropractic, spiritual, and energy healing over the years, all of which she uses in her work with clients as a chiropractor, making every session gentle, intuitive, and transformational. So as a transformational superconscious coach, Kathrine provides private alchemy sessions as well as a year-long journey into creating your new reality, shedding blocks with fast, effortless ease along the way, which sounds amazing. So you can experience your own superconscious recode with Kathrine at her website, which is embodiedalchemy.com.au. So welcome, Kathrine. I am so excited to have you here on the Mind, Body, Yay podcast.
Thank you so much, Kate. It's so good to be connecting with you in this way. I'm so excited to be here as well.
Awesome. And so, I've been also working with you, particularly the last couple of months, on this superconscious recode and doing some amazing work with you, which has been amazing. And I know in this session, we will do a short practice so all of our listeners can experience what it feels like just diving into our superconscious. But before we get into that, it would be great to kick off just with how you got into intuitive healing and, what led you to it and what led you down this path that you're now sharing and teaching with everyone else.
Absolutely. There's a story we all have, I find, of how the universe has gotten us onto our paths. And for me, I was an incredibly left-brained chiropractor. I was treating 40 clients a day. I was on fire. I was loving what I was doing, but I was exhausted by the end of the day. And I realized during the sessions, I was actually feeling everyone else's emotions. And when they're talking about stuff, I was actually feeling it. And I didn't believe that at the time. Surely that wasn't possible. And then I needed enough help. Someone recommended a woman who did an amazing 2-year higher self connection course. And I ended up doing that and learning all about how the world works within our own bodies, our beings, our fields, and the world around us until nowadays. I can't look at the body as something merely physical because it isn't. We are made up of vibration. We are made up of stories. We're made up of emotions. And all of that can be worked with in a myriad of ways. And that's how I've developed the way I work nowadays. And I'm very grateful for it.
It is amazing. And I know many people that are listening to this that have, been to see you and had one of your sessions. You clearly are so talented when it comes to energy and helping tap into intuition as well. So you mentioned before around the higher self. And so for our listeners, it would be great to just dive into that a little bit more. Like, what is our higher selves?
Our higher selves would be the highest connection we can have with ourselves. We can scrabble around in our daily lives having thoughts and feelings and fears and getting on with things or being immersed in drama. And that is a very human experience. But when we're tapped into our higher self, our perception shifts and our state of being shifts. We come back into feeling love, where we come back into having an open heart, which is the key to being connected with the higher self. And all of a sudden we're feeling more expanded, if that's a word. That could be described as feeling lighter and brighter, much more positive, much more in the flow, and recognizing there are synchronicities happening in this world and in our lives, and connected with that and that sense of abundance that comes with that. It's our strongest connection to our intuition. We can tap into our higher self for guidance, just as we're working within our soul's creation and our expression of ourselves through our own lives, our own bodies, our own beings. Our higher self is all that there is. I believe we're spiritual beings having a human existence.
Totally.
As such, we can embody more and more and more of these spiritual aspects. I think we're lightening rapidly nowadays, and we're finding ways to be more embodied in a different state. The world's different when you're in this state. And I adore seeing that happen again and again and again as people remember while they're in session with me or while they're journeying with me.
It's really interesting, isn't it? I'm just reflecting as well as you're talking about this. Just, how much we can just get stuck in just this, in just the drama or the fear or our human lives. And I know when I see you, I always just get that reminder that you got to connect to your higher self. You got, there's a greater, kind of energy at play here. There's a greater force, make sure you're tapping into that. And I know we can sometimes just forget when we're just leading our busy lives and just doing and getting caught up in that. Like, what suggestions do you have for people to tap into that higher self a little bit more? Like, what can we do on a day-to-day basis just to help remind ourselves to be in that zone and in that connection with our intuition and our higher selves?
There's a spaciousness within that connection. So inviting that spaciousness in to yourself helps. If you're running around, that's not so easy to do. So starting your day in a state of gratitude and being able to connect with the greater aspects of you, remembering the bigger things, having that higher perspective of how you would like your day to be, your life to be, being able to tap into that in ways that work for you with your timing. I'm a busy mum. I lie in bed and I breathe for a few breaths, and I just allow myself to visualize, to feel my cells waking up and raising their vibration as I tap back into that higher self frequency. And magic happens within a few minutes. If you can do that, it might be a practice. You might do yoga. You might do just breathing. You might just sit and allow or meditate, and definitely just having mini breaks throughout the day. I'm finding nowadays that is definitely the way forward.
Those micro steps, isn't it? It's those micro practices. I think it's how that you can really live that mindful life, you know, being a lot more mindful. I do find that too. It's really challenging to do big practices in our busy lives when we're being pulled in each direction possible, and everyone's trying to claw at our energy. So being able to just be mindful and aware of that, I think, is just so important.
Absolutely. Come back again and again.
And I love that visualization, that visual of waking your cells up. In the morning. I have not tried that, but I will be trying. Know what I'll be doing tomorrow morning when I wake up.
Well, you've worked with me enough times that the second you go to do that, your cells have been entrained to those beautiful frequencies.
Oh, it'll be
beautiful.
Oh, that'll be beautiful. It is a nice way to wake up as well. I think sometimes and again, we forget how important it is to manage our energy or to invest in our energy. And I think that's just such a really nice way to do it, and how important energy is for our mind and body. Which leads me into the next question. So, and I know you talk a lot about, and whether we talk about it as vibration, frequency, consciousness, and I know you deal with the field around us. How does that actually impact our physical and mental beings?
Right. Well, if we use the term the field, we are not just this physical body. We have energy that comes out from us, call it your energy bodies. And it's tapped into all the energy around as well. You know, you feel amazing when you're at the beach and you've got negative ions and the water moving. You can literally feel the shift in environments. If you move into a room that someone's had an argument in, you can feel what's going on there. And your body is actually responding to inputs you might not be aware of, because we are tapped into this field, and we can choose how tapped in we want to be to various fields, believe it or not. We can stay in a room where someone is moaning and groaning and not doing too well, and we can literally feel ourselves come down a little bit with them. Or we can be at an amazingly beautiful, happy birthday event and feel ourselves shift. And what you're actually feeling is the energy that's happening throughout the entire room. So that affects how we feel, which affects how we think, how we act. It actually changes our physiology. And nowadays, it's very exciting. We can tap into various fields, and the one that opens the heart, that beautifully connected one where you really do feel connected to the universe, is one that's available to us. And you can literally recode and retrain your brain, your neurology, how you think, your biochemistry, and your physiology into new states of health, new ways of feeling. You can shed old ways of being within your own self, within your own life, with so much rapid ease nowadays. It's so exciting. And it sounds very out there, but quantum exploration is showing this as absolute truth. And you've probably noticed more and more people are actually tapping into this way of being. They're really waking up to how much the field and our energy bodies are affecting our actual physical self and what we do about it. It's so exciting nowadays.
Oh, it really is. And I think what you said before was around, you know, we can choose our energy, you know, and we create our energy, taking that, you know, a step further as well, but really being able to choose that. There's definitely, I think, a shift towards a lot more energy awareness in just in society in general, and with our well-being, and just that move towards how we manage our energy. And I think just that well-being prevention market has increased significantly. And, and I think I put all of this into this. This is all about investing in ourselves and our energy, and choosing how we want to show up and create going forward, rather than just let life happen to us without us being aware of it. And it is interesting, because I've started doing, infrared saunas and a lot of those kind of things. And I look at that and I just walk out of that and I feel amazing, right? And it's like you walk in, and the last one I do have to share that I did one last week, and I listened to 2 of your meditations while I was in there, and I felt amazing. So, it's a great time to be able to almost stack on some of those habits as well. When I'm, doing an infrared sauna, then being able to listen to a meditation or do one of the, kind of one of these sessions is amazing for that. But your energy, I walked out and I just completely shifted.
Yep.
It was, amazing from that perspective. So we are going to jump into a superconscious recode in this podcast. But before we do that, I just want, what is our superconscious? So what is the superconscious? What is the superconscious recode? What is the process that you take people through?
Okay. The superconscious, another word for that, is your higher self. So it is the field. There are so many beliefs we all have. You could say it's source, it's God, it's flow, it's your genius, it's your superpower when you're tapped into that greatest aspect of yourself. And in a superconscious recode, what we're doing is we're tapping into those aspects of ourselves. I work from my superconscious to your superconscious. So I might be saying something to a group, but believe it or not, you're getting an individualized session and healing just for you via your superconscious. And we want to be creating something nowadays. This whole way of being in the world where there's a problem that needs to be fixed, or I need a healing because of, it keeps us in this identity of feeling that there's something wrong with us or that we're broken. And the more you keep doing that, the more you can stay stuck in that loop, oscillating backwards and forwards. Whereas we want to step into our creational selves, our incredibly abundant, infinite creational selves, and truly move through our hearts and know what it is we want to create and be able to go for it, and letting go of all the resistance, all those stories, all the fears, all the frustrations, all that unconscious stuff that can be stored in our bodies and our beings. All the stuff, gosh, for all we know, it's come in through many generations that are still in our DNA, or it's moving through our cells as other experiences, if you believe that we are multidimensional, that we've had on other dimensions. And so in order to create, we've got to let go. We've got to let go of all that stuff. And that's what the superconscious recode does. I'm using it nowadays because I've been in the industry for decades. This is the fastest, most effective way I know to really drop the stuff and actually manifest, actually move forward. I'm excited that we actually get to share that today.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So some of our listeners, and I know this because I know our listeners, do struggle to let go. They do struggle to get out of their head. As I know, you've worked with me for a long time too, and I struggle to get out of my head and into my body, which is why I think I love seeing you and participating in a lot of these recodes and that, because it really helps. But so I'm just thinking for our listeners that have trouble letting go and trouble surrendering to this, what can they do? So is there, any advice you can give to them that, to help them get into the flow a little bit more and to help them tap in, rather than to keep holding on to a lot of what they've got that is stored in our bodies? How do we help these that struggle to let go?
The head over the heart people.
Yes, the head over the heart people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, personally, the work that I do does that. The superconscious recode does that very, very literally. coming back to the heart means stopping telling all the stories. It means stopping listening to all the stories you're telling. And they're strong stories. You know, we've all got the inner critic or the victim or the martyr. We've got the protector controller within us. And being still long enough to allow those stories to quieten a little certainly helps. And breathing awareness into the heart and into the heart chakra is a brilliant way of doing that. But the superconscious recode is a faster way of doing that.
It's amazing. And a lot of the time, I think it's also just giving yourself that permission to let go. And even if it's just for 15 minutes, or even if it's just that you start doing it, you know, in micro steps, just giving yourself permission to let go and to be aware of, you know, these roles that you play, letting go, you know, learning to understand what you're holding on to. I think, and that's what I found really powerful, is when, you know, when we do these recodes, you kind of do, like, you know, listen to that higher self as well. Those voices come through quite strong, and then you're able to step away from all that noise in your head that you're holding on to, and all those roles that you should be playing, and all that criticism, I think, and just helps to quieten that down, and then just surrender to the process. There's something quite powerful around surrendering.
Absolutely. The more we surrender to our higher selves, the more we get out of our own way. Literally, the stuff that had charge in the past, it won't. It's done. It's turned into wisdom that then keeps you more connected within that higher self and superconscious realm.
And trusting the process, learning to trust the process. And I know I tell a lot of my clients that as well. You know, and it's hard, it's scary. I think that's, you know, and it can be very scary in our kind of real worlds, which are sometimes driven by our heads, and we've got to balance and make decisions based on both. So it's it can be quite challenging from that. So I think having these practices such as a superconscious recode and that are so good for us to do as a practice and a discipline and an investment in our well-being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Being able to tap into the wisdom and that greater perspective.
And also, I think there's a lot of peace in knowing that sometimes you don't have to do everything on your own. There is a universal energy there. Trust the process. Like, even that, like, I just felt myself relax as I said that. Right? You can sometimes, like, just trust, like, there is a lot of universal support and energy support there when you just surrender and go with your higher self. And your higher self knows things. It knows all the unseen things. And, you know, and I know it can be challenging to trust the process, but it's very much worthwhile.
Very much. It's the only way to operate in the world nowadays.
I know. Yeah. And I think letting go also creates that space. I think that's that space for you to create, rather than control.
Absolutely. There's a new way of, I believe, that our whole world is evolving and our consciousness is evolving, so that we are learning to be more connected through our hearts and with each other and in collaboration. All of a sudden, all that other stuff is just not important, and it's not the way forward.
And it's beautiful. And I think it's obviously it's synchronicity, but, you know, this just that rise of the divine feminine at the moment, and that beautiful energy and that connectivity and all of that that's going on, it does feel like there's a definite awakening, and, you know, more that, I mean, it's always been there to tap into, but I think there's more and more of us that are increasing our consciousness and wanting to increase our own vibration, and moving from that old structure that we've had into, you know, that more state of collective, and how we can be of service, and, you know, and which is all a higher vibration, really, that we're taking into the world.
Yep, absolutely. Being able to receive all that you are. truly receive the fact that you are a being of light, that you are infinite potential, that you are powerful, that you are love.
And that's definitely what our listeners need to hear. I know that it's that receiving. It's okay to receive. It's actually like the more you receive, the more you can be of service, the more you can put that and create and channel that energy in, out back into the world as well, that receives. So I think there's a great practice for us all to do.
Yeah. And that's why in today's superconscious recode, we're actually going to step you into your creative self.
Awesome. Well, should we get started? I might hand over to you and let's just let's dive into our superconscious. So this is great. And I'll hand over to you and I will let you run this recode practice.
Let's do this, shall we? I'll just give a quick explanation of what I'm talking about and the process I'll take you through. Oh gosh, there are some core beliefs that are just true and things you would want to manifest, and you would want to be the predominant creative force in your life. Now, being the predominant creator or creative force in your life means that no matter what is going on in your life, you always come back to knowing that you are the universe. You are your superconscious. You are infinite possibilities. You might be going through heartache. You might be struggling financially. You might be juggling 6 kids. You might be going through all sorts of stuff, but you are still tapped in always to this incredible bandwidth. Love, bliss, joy, connection, abundance. And I don't mean calling in abundance. I mean knowing you are abundance. And most importantly, knowing that you're powerful. You're powerful beyond anything. So the ability to, despite circumstances in this case, come back again and again into your creational self and be the predominant creator in your life means that you can then refocus. When you've got pulled out or when life has done one of those things, obviously you're going to experience it. We're not bypassing. You're having a human existence. Feel what you need to feel, go through what you need to go through, and then come back to you and your creation. What are you focusing on? What are you creating? What are you manifesting? What do you want? What does your heart desire? So that is what I'm talking about when it means being the predominant creator in your life, being able to come back again and again. And the good news is with one of these superconscious recodes, you can do this recode again and again, and it will bring through new levels and layers of what you're ready to let go of and keep you moving forward, which is the magic of some of this. So, as I said, I will be chatting away to your superconscious. I will be helping us set up what it means and feels like to be that predominant creative force in your life. And then you can just let go. You can relax and experience whatever it is you need to experience. And we will pull up all those stories, all those roles, all the cellular, all the energetic, all the stuff that is in resistance to your creation. And we're going to recode it with the superconscious so that it's rewired. You will literally not have that charge within your body or your being anymore. And you'll be able to move forward as if a dam has just burst and you're flying along with the water. And at the very end, we always take an action step, whatever that might be. And I'll explain a little bit more when we get to that stage. So, how about we get started? First step, get yourself quite comfortable. And feel free to close your eyes. I'm going to be closing my eyes during this process. I love to feel what's happening with the energy as much as I can. So, allowing yourself to recognize in the first place that You are a superconscious creator, and you are the predominant creative force in your life. Not the government, not your household, not your career demands, not the kids. You are actually the predominant creative force in your life. And you can choose to create whatever your heart desires. You are not put this on this planet to struggle, to stay stuck, to get so far and then go back again. You are here to create the life of your dreams, to truly be able to tap into your heart and create from that tapping in. So just working with your superconscious now, I'm going to ask you, and just do this in your head, to give me permission, Kathrine, permission to work with your superconscious for this recode. And I'll just feel you tapping in now. Thank you. And I'm going to chat away with your superconscious, and you're just going to let yourself experience what you will. So superconscious, do you see this creation of being the predominant creative force in your life? Of knowing how incredibly powerful you are, of being able to hold that within yourself, infinite possibilities of creation, creating a life feeling loving and loved, feeling light and bright and joyful, living in bliss, being abundance, being clear and aligned, feeling this tapped in to higher self, to superconscious, to the field, to source, to light. And superconscious, can you just allow everyone to experience this more in their bodies? Literally amp this up, this feeling of being the predominant creator in your life, because you are connected. So feeling the embodiment of all that you are. That truth of I am all that I am is an embodiment happening through your cells. So let yourself feel how much lighter you are, how much more cohesive, less bits here, there, and ever. Literally feeling more rounded out, feeling expanded, feeling tapped in. You might feel the tapped in all the way down through your feet, through the earth, through the energies of the earth. It might be rising up from there. It might be flooding every single cell with lightness and expansion. You might be feeling it moving up through the head, through to the universe, the stars, all that is. You might be recognizing how your chakras and your energy bodies are singing when you are the predominant creative force in your life. That at any given moment, in any given experience, you can come back to this again and again. You have the power, and you have the power to create. But most of all, superconscious, allow this to be felt through the heart. The doorway of everything has always been within you. And it is through the heart opening more and more. So just bathe in this, and superconscious, can we amp this up even more? The feeling and training through our entire body, through our cells, through our physiology, this truth. Thank you. That feels amazing. So what we're going to do, working with superconscious now, is just chat to any resistance you might have. And allow that to be recoded, rewired, so that this truth is simply embodied here and now, and again in the future. So we're actually going to start by bringing in the protector controller. The protector controller that kicked in when we were in our childhood, when we were trying to learn what it felt like to feel safe or to belong. And incidences happened and stories began to be told around how you need to be, how you need to fit in with the family, how the world works according to your teachers. Incidences you might have experienced, and the protector controller came in and said, okay, I just need to do this and be this. Got it. I will make sure from now on, when I'm in a situation where I feel unsafe because it is unfamiliar, I will kick in and I will keep you safe. We're going to recognize, protector controller, that role might be a little outdated nowadays. So just allowing that sense of when the protector controller is trying to run the show for you, how you might feel narrow, how you might be in your head and in your mind, how you might keep thinking you're not safe, how you might not feel as if this is working. And we're going to ask now for the superconscious to go back through all time, space, dimension to the original event and all other ones that are in the field where the protector controller has played this role, and do a massive change history, and everything is needed now. And just notice what you're experiencing as this is recoded. You might feel as if all of a sudden you can breathe easier, as if that sense of having a weight of responsibility is not there. So superconscious, can we go into the beliefs that we might have taken on as well that are in resistance to being the predominant creative force? Oh, but I need to manage this, but I have these things to do. Okay, how am I going to sort through this? Oh, okay, no, I can't step out of this box. This is who I am, and this is how I cope. Let's just bring in that concept of staying small in order to feel safe. We're going to bring in the other part-time personalities. We're going to bring in that victim-martyr combination. We're definitely bringing in the people pleaser for this one. The inner critic, the one who judges, and the one who plays small. We're going to tag through all events and do a massive change history now, and everything is needed for all those aspects of our resistance. And just breathe. You might notice things moving through your body. You might feel the energy. You might have flashes, realizations. Or you might just feel lighter as you begin to embody the truth, letting go of this resistance. Superconscious, can we amp up the feeling and that truth as we come now into the body systems? Superconscious, do you see how we've played various roles in our life within family, work, career, social, world level, and we've taken on these roles that are actually in resistance to the truth? I want us to tap into the roles as they've set up our physiology in certain ways of feeling stressed or feeling anxious or not being able to, of going into fear or confusion. Can we just do a change history, and everything is needed for all the roles and how it's tapped into our physiology first? And just notice what you're noticing. Beautiful, that's it. Just take a few breaths, everyone. There's a lot of energy moving through this. I'm going to bring in the other aspect that I'm sensing for this, and that's through our energy systems, our chakras, our meridians, our lines of force, etc., our bodies. And I'm going to ask to really allow them to be recoded back to the truth of I am all that I am light, I am source, I am magical, I am flow, I am the field, I am my superconscious, and I am the predominant creative force in my life. So allowing all soul aspects that might have been left out there through who knows what time or dimension, just to come back now and superconscious to a massive change history, and everything is needed for them. And you're going to feel a new wave moving through you as this shifts. There it is. Oh, superconscious, do you see that inner child in the heart? She's so alone. She's feeling unloved. She's feeling as if she's been left out in the cold. Can we go back through the family patterning? We have some DNA, family patterning, and the heart chakra all involved in this particular one. Through all time, space, dimension, please recode that now, superconscious. Allowing her to be held. Truly held, to be loved, to come into the whole of all that you are, to not run the show, to not be the one at the forefront when there's a reaction, and to allow there to be response, to tap into the magic of all you are, that flow state instead. There we are, super conscious. Can we entrain the body, the being, the field, the cells to know that we have the flexibility to tap into anything and everything again and again and again? And we have the will. Super conscious, can you see that solar plexus all the way down through the lower chakras as well? And the will to continue to move forward in ways that we have dreamt of, that our heart desires. To step out of all else, chatting away to all those personalities that feel like they're not good enough, they're not worthy, they don't deserve. Oh, but I have to be perfect. Oh, but things have to be this way. Oh, I wouldn't have the resources for that. All those beliefs that simply aren't true. Going through the emotions, going through the events, going through the energetics now, and finishing off recoding all of that. And in training back to the truth of who you are. You are light. Tapping in, feeling the heart so open, so expanded, clear, and clarity through the entire body. The head and your being are in line with your heart's knowing, your intuition, your truth, your creational abilities. One last round, please. Recoding any last resistance left in the field. Thank you, superconscious. And just allowing the last round of what's moving through you to settle. Grounding the changes touched on today on all the levels into the energetic matrix of the universe for your greatest satisfaction in life. And while you're feeling yourself as the predominant creative force in your life, I want you to tap into an action step to affirm this. This can be something to do, or it could be something in the more feminine way of taking action, something to be or notice or feel or recognize. But allow it to drop in. You are truly, truly connected with all that you are, your higher self, your intuition, your heart space right now. Allow it to be so obvious. The truth of who you are. and the way to move forward and continue to manifest as you're tapped in with effortless ease. And when you've allowed that to truly, truly drop in, allow yourself to come all the way back.
Amazing. Thank you, Kathrine. What a gift. And absolutely what a gift. And that's definitely putting the yay back into our mind and body. So thank you so much for that. And as we wrap up, where can people find you? How can people connect with you?
I am Embodied Alchemy. You can find me on Facebook, and you can find my website, embodiedalchemy.com.au. And
Excellent.
I would love to work with you if that's what you're called to do. I even have a free group where I do healings in the Facebook realm. So I just know that you can listen to this podcast again and again and again and keep doing this. And with someone like Kate here to guide you and give you all that you need as well to really empower yourself to live the yay. You're totally set. You're totally set. Thank you so much, Kate, for letting me come on to give this as well. I'm all about the heart right now. So I really feel.
And thank you for opening our hearts, getting us into our heart today, into our higher selves. Sometimes getting away from that busy that we need to, and reminding ourselves to be the creator of our lives. I think that is definitely something that helps us when we tap into our superconscious and when we do these recodes. And it is amazing. So thank you so much. Thank you for the practice. I know people will do it over and over again. So thank you. And I'm so excited to share you with our audience. So thanks again. Again, that is Embodied Alchemy. I will pop it into the show notes as well for this episode. And so the links so that you can connect with Kathrine as well and find out more about her. So that's all we have for today in today's episode. So thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.